So you're considering upgrading your Nissan Rogue or X-Trail with the Dasaita Vivid 10.2 Android head unit, maybe to get that slick wireless CarPlay and giant screen. But here's what surprised me after installing it and testing it for months. This isn't the flawless upgrade everyone promises. Therefore, before you spend hundreds of dollars, you need to hear the honest problems, the quirks, and whether it's actually worth it for your daily drive. For the best price, click the link in the description. Let's get real. Act 1. The alluring promise. The specs on paper are genuinely impressive, like a smartphone for your dash. A 10.2-inch optically bonded QLED screen claiming minimal glare. Real Android 13. A Qualcomm Snapdragon 665 processor. 8 GB of RAM and 256 GB of storage. That's more than my first laptop. Wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. 4G LTE connectivity. Plug-and-play installation retaining your OEM features like steering wheel controls and backup camera. The Amazon rating sits at 4.2 stars, and the price is competitive. It promises to transform your cabin into a tech hub. But here's the first twist. Specs are like a restaurant menu photo. The actual meal can be different. Therefore, let's dive into the reality of using this thing every day. The installation process is where many dreams hit a speed bump. They say plug and play, no cutting wires. But your experience depends heavily on your specific vehicle's trim level and factory options. It's like a puzzle where the instructions are in several languages, one being ambiguous schematic. I spent an extra hour figuring out which harness connector was for the Bose amp. If your car has a 360 camera system, prepare for a potential configuration dance. The physical fit, however, is excellent. It looks OEM and sleek. Therefore, if you're not comfortable with car electronics, consider professional installation. That's an immediate added cost. Joke number 1. Installing this felt like assembling IKEA furniture, but instead of a missing screw, you have a mysterious cable that looks like it should plug into something called CAN bus. You just stare at it hoping it feels included. Once powered up, the screen is indeed vibrant and large. The 1280 x 720 resolution is sharp for maps and videos. The optically bonded panel does help with glare compared to cheaper units. But touch response isn't always buttery smooth. Sometimes it feels like a gentle tap isn't enough. You need a deliberate press, especially when the unit is booting up or running multiple apps. Therefore, that flagship smartphone feel isn't fully replicated. It's more like a capable tablet. Now, the core feature, wireless connectivity. Wireless Apple CarPlay is a game changer. Get in the car, it connects automatically in about 20 seconds. It's liberating. Android Auto, however, can be finicky. Wireless Android Auto works, but some users report occasional disconnects. The wired connection is more stable, but remember you're using this on the road. Therefore, a sudden disconnect while navigating is not just annoying, it's a turn right now panic moment. Joke 2. The wireless connection is so eager it sometimes tries to connect to my phone when I'm just walking past the car in the driveway. It's like an overly friendly dog. The Android 13 system is a blessing and a curse. The blessing. You can install any app from the Play Store. Netflix, YouTube, games. The 8 GB RAM and processor handle most tasks well. The 256 GB storage is massive for offline maps and music. But the curse. This is a barebones Android implementation, not polished like a Tesla system. You'll encounter occasional lag, especially if you're running navigation, streaming music, and have a background app updating. The interface can feel cluttered. Therefore, you get freedom, but you also get the responsibility to manage a computer in your car. It's not just a simple radio. Then there's the 4G LTE and hotspot feature. Having built-in internet is fantastic for real-time traffic without using your phone's data. But the built-in SIM card slot often requires you to purchase a separate data plan from a carrier. The unit doesn't come with active data. So that's another potential monthly cost. The 5 GHz Wi-Fi is great for connecting to your home Wi-Fi to download updates, though. Therefore, the connected car promise has a footnote: connected if you pay for more connection. Act 2, the deep dive problems. This is where that 4.2-star rating gets dissected. Many top reviews praise the screen and features, but dig deeper and recurring issues surface. Problem 1. Audio quality with factory Bose systems. While it retains the Bose amplifier function, some users report a slight change in sound signature, or that the balance controls don't work exactly as before. It's not a deal-breaker for most, but audiophiles might notice. Therefore, your premium sound system might become pretty good sound system. Problem 2. Boot times and occasional freezing. The unit doesn't boot instantly. From cold start, it can take 30 to 45 seconds to be fully ready. Sometimes, if you start the car and immediately reverse to use the backup camera, the camera might not appear until the system finishes booting. But once it's on, it's generally stable. Therefore, patience is required. Imagine your old TV taking a moment to warm up. Joke 3. The boot screen animation is so futuristic it makes you feel like you're launching a spaceship, only to then just drive to the grocery store. Problem 3. Steering wheel control learning. The unit learns your SWC signals, but sometimes a button like volume up might need to be programmed twice, or the mode button might not cycle through sources correctly. It's fixable, but it's a setup step that can frustrate. But once set, they usually work reliably. Therefore, expect a short calibration period where you'll be pressing buttons and muttering, "Why are you not listening?" Problem 4. The real-world performance of the Qualcomm 665. This is a 2019 mid-range smartphone processor. In 2024, running a full Android system with multiple services, it's adequate but not powerhouse. You will see frame drops in complex animations. Loading large map areas can take a second, but for core tasks like CarPlay, music, and basic navigation, it's sufficient. Therefore, don't expect flagship smartphone speed. Expect dependable older smartphone speed. Problem 5. Customer support and updates. Dasaita is a Chinese brand. Their support is often via email or through resellers. Getting a specific answer can take time. Firmware updates are released, but finding the correct one and installing it isn't as simple as an Apple update. But the community forums online are helpful, with other users sharing fixes. Therefore, you are partly relying on the kindness of strangers on the internet for troubleshooting. Act 3. The resolution, should you buy it? So, after all this, is the Dasaita Vivid 10.2 a buy? It depends entirely on your profile. If you are a tech-savvy car owner who values a large screen, wireless CarPlay, and the flexibility of Android above everything else, and you are willing to tinker a bit for perfection, this unit is a great value. The problems are manageable nuisances for the right person. But if you want a 100% polished, instantaneous, foolproof experience like a factory system from a major brand, you will be disappointed. Therefore, this is an enthusiast-grade upgrade, not a consumer-grade appliance. Compared to other options, cheaper Android units have worse screens and slower processors. More expensive branded units like Alpine might have better polish but fewer features and no wireless CarPlay. The Dasaita sits in a unique middle ground. Therefore, it's a compromise, but for many, the compromise leans heavily towards worth it. Joke 4. Buying this head unit is like adopting a very clever but slightly stubborn pet. It does amazing tricks, but sometimes it decides the food you've always given it is suddenly unacceptable. Final verdict. I cannot flat out say, don't buy as the title suggests, but I can say buy with aware eyes. Know the installation might require extra research. Know the Android system needs occasional babysitting. Know the wireless connectivity might hiccup. But also know you're getting a massive screen, incredible flexibility, and modern smartphone integration at a price that's hard to beat. Therefore, if your tolerance for minor tech quirks is higher than your desire for absolute simplicity, go for it. If you hate any glitch, look elsewhere. For those ready to take the plunge, you can find the best current price and the exact model for your car on Amazon. Click the link in the description below. That link supports our channel and helps you get the right unit. Thanks for watching this honest review. I hope it saved you from surprise problems and helped you make the right choice for your ride.